Morning everyone. Happy flip-flop day. If you've just tuned in, we're about to start our 45th walk from Beaver Court here just outside of Winstanley in Ashton, and I've got my trusty flip-flops on. You won't believe this, but yesterday as I planned this walk, my brown flip-flops decided to snap where the bit that goes in between your toes, and it snapped off. So we're just starting our walk from appropriately named Beaver Court here at the Three Sisters site, and we're going to take our way through over to the Three Sisters area. It's currently spitting a little bit, but not too bad with the rain. But this is the industrial site that sits alongside it. You can see there's a thank you to the NHS and all key workers there, as well as a burr. Check this out. There's a burr there. Seen some things on these walks. The last one was an emu, but this one we've got a burr. So we've just left Beaver Court, and this is a little roadway that leads us to the woods. And as I said earlier, it's National Flip-Flop Day today, so if you can hear the sound, flip-flops are on. The brolly's up now, it's raining a bit. Morning! Trying to organise my hands. There we go. So this isn't the usual start point for this walk. You can park on the car park at the Three Sisters Lake, but thought we'll do an alternative route today. So we'll just say hello to a few people before we get in there. So good morning to Liz, Brian, Elaine, Dot, John, Jackie, Mum, Christine, Samantha, Marie, James. Yeah, we've just been to Beaver Court, James. Just been to Beaver Court. So the object of today's walk really is to avoid these, because flip-flops, you'll get your feet wet. So there's going to be one or two of these to dodge around today, but so this is the entrance to the wooded area. Now, from what I can remember, the paths on this place are quite wide and quite well maintained as well. So if you do want to come down here for a socially distant walk, it's ideal, really. James says, "Bet look like Frodo in flip-flops." Well, yeah, but I've not got hairy feet. Apparently James has already been out this morning, and he's been swimming down in Hall Lane near Winstanley Park. Now in the southern hemisphere, flip-flops are known as thongs, but I think James got the wrong idea and he put his pink one on and went swimming in all those puddles down Hall Lane. So we just got down to Three Sisters Lake, and as you can see the paths are nice and wide. Good for prams, this. and I think somebody up ahead's got a pram. Mum says you're going to have blisters between your toes. Not at all. I wear flip-flops quite regularly, and when we're abroad we always go walking in flip-flops. So these are decent penguin ones, these. So along the way, as I was having my breakfast this morning, I thought I'd best dig out some interesting facts about flip-flops. Unfortunately there isn't any, other than it's thought that they were invented around about 4000 BC in ancient Egypt, and the name flip-flop comes from the sound that they make slapping against your feet. Other than that, there's nothing much more to say. So you can see just across the way there, there's a little building, and they usually have a cafe in there and toilets and things like that, but clearly not open today. But I can't believe my best flip-flops, my favourites, they snapped on me yesterday whilst I was doing some DIY at home. So what we're going to do is circle round towards the play area and the car park, which is where you would normally set off from. But I couldn't resist starting off at Beaver Court to honour James Hornby's beaverness, I suppose, and his willingness to jump in water and sort out the dams. The weather's not been great over the past few days, has it? It's been thunder and lightning, rain, showers, things like that. So we do have a brolly today, just to keep the camera dry. I'm not usually that fussed. Yeah, we've got somebody with a pram here. I like this one. Be safe. Very good. See, on that side of the pond there's quite a lot of ducks and one or two geese, I think, as well. Morning. Can I just squeeze past you? Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. There's some nice benches with some nice views along the way. Look at this thing. That's clearly a chip of some sort. Some kind of wader. So if you've just tuned in, you don't know where we are, during the introduction I gave you a rough idea, but Beaver Court, which is where we started, is part of the industrial estate that leads us onto the Three Sisters area. So this is Three Sisters Lake on the right, and we're going to go and have a trek around into some of the woodland nearby. But if you're looking for a nice little walk with wide paths that's quite flat, which is ideal for prams as well as flip-flops, then this is the route to take. just do a few more shout outs. We've got a few more hellos coming in. Just bear with me. So hello to Claire, Lisa, Stephen has joined us. I think there's another Lisa, Dot, Adele. Who else have we got? Karen says, hi Chris, I hope you're well. Very good, thank you. Phil Burke's watching. How are you doing, Phil? And Shirley is giving us a little puppy wave. Very nice. So this is the view from the main part of the building, all the way across the lake. And we're going to go left from the building and down into the wood. Trying to keep the camera dry today. Last time we walked in the rain it got soaked and I was worried about it. Morning.
Morning.
Does the rain sound like we're in a tent? It's starting to come down a little bit now. Just looking at my signal on the phone, and it does look like it's dropping off ever so slightly, so if we do lose you, then bear with us for a couple of seconds. It usually picks back up quite quickly, but if we do lose you completely, because you never know, if the signal drops, that's it, end of the walk. But if you do lose us, then you can always catch up on YouTube or on the video when I publish it later on onto Facebook. And as always, you can check out the route map of today's walk and the video on the website at www.winstanleywalks.co.uk. Bob says, I sometimes paddle my canoe in that weather, in that water. Lovely place. Can you canoe in there? Are you allowed to go in? So we just crossed a little bridge with a brook that runs down the side of it. I'll confess to not knowing where that brook comes from or where it goes, but it's certainly flowing today. Now we've got a couple of options. We can go straight on to the Wetland Nature Reserve, which will probably bring us round down there, or we can take a left and go downhill in that direction. So I think we're going to go left and take the longest route that we can, really. Hopefully this is a good way to go. It's been a long time since I've been down here. Bob says he used to ask the rangers, of which he's made friends with, so that's handy to know. Morning. Just to give you an update on the flip-flop situation, the flip-flops are absolutely fine. They're a little bit wet now, but we're doing okay. There's a little bit of grit rubbing on the top of my feet, so I might need to clean them in a puddle later on. But other than that, we're all good. So this path seems to follow the brook all the way down to the bottom. And there's a nice woodland on the left of that, which I think you can get access to via that field that we walked past earlier on. We're just coming towards a clearing right now, and looks like a signpost, so we'll have a look at that in a second. Looks like we found another bear. You see that up ahead on the right? That's a nice structure. Didn't say much about it. So this says Bolton Road, Kestrel Drive, or Viridor Wood. We'll carry on into the woods, and then we might, I'm guessing, come back down through there. So that's the way we'll try today. Again, I've noticed that the signal is quite low around here, so if we do lose you for any period of time, I apologise. But as always with a live stream, we can't guarantee that we've got great signal all the way around, so just bear with us, it'll improve as we go around, hopefully. And if it doesn't, then I'm talking to myself, and you'll have to catch up later on. But the show must go on, and we'll carry on walking. And if you have just joined us, we've started at Beaver Court, just outside the Three Sisters area. Walked through the woods into the Three Sisters Lake, to the left of the lake, and into the woods. No problem. Good morning, Sheila. How are you today? Sarah says, good morning everyone. I didn't go out yesterday. Going out rain or shine today. All the old bones will seize up. Absolutely. I'll just say a few more hellos. Hello to Kaylee, Sheila, Jeanette, and Sarah. So it is National Flip-Flop Day today, so I hope you're wearing your flip-flops. Certainly not the best footwear to be wearing on a walk of any kind today, really. It'd be a bit squelchy, but I'm showing my dedication to the cause, and the penguin flip-flops are on. Sheila says, morning Chris, not a very nice day for a flip-flop walk. Hope you don't get sore feet. Enjoy that. You can see the brook on the left there is starting to pool up a little bit because it's been raining so much. I hope nobody's had any leaks or floods over the past few days. I know my office at work I've got an office or a studio really that I work from in Pemberton. I got a phone call yesterday to say that it's had quite a major flood, which I'm going to go and inspect later on today. But I've not been in because there's no work at the moment, so I'm going to go and check that out and see what damage has been made. Karen says, I bet your feet are cold. You're a brave man. It's not that bad. Honestly, it's not that bad at all. Because it is quite mild still, and as you're walking, it's not too bad. Morning.
Morning.
Oh, now then, what's over here? We'll cross that over in a second. So there's a couple of owls. He's very creative. And this is the Enchanted Trail, Glitterhounds Wildlife. Fair enough. Let's see what we can spot down here then. I'm guessing that's through the woods as well, in that path. Looks like there's going to be some tree carvings and some bits and pieces to see. That'll be nice. But the paths are really good down this way if you want to come down as a family or do a socially distant walk. You can easily get enough distance between each other. Ooh, I just heard some thunder. That's not good when you've got a brolly on. There's a little bird feeder here. There was looked like a small crow. Was just feeding on that. So, looking off into the distance now on the open section, across the fields. And Bob's just said that the map looks like the brook goes to Horrocks Flashes area. Well, thanks for checking that out, pal. I'm not sure whether it went to like Langate, where the fisheries are. Flip-flops in rain and mud, Elizabeth says. Slippy and sloppy. Hope your feet don't suffer too much. Ah, they're alright. So, I'm guessing that looks like some kind of decorative shield. And down there we've got a furry door. And then here looks like a decorative type of insect. By the looks of things, a dragonfly. On we go. I'm glad I came down here now. It's lovely. Karen says, I think I will take my mountain bike on these trails. Thanks, Chris, for introducing me to another belting place to explore. Absolutely. So we've got a sign now that says Kestrel Drive, Viridor Wood, or the Wildlife Pond. Oh, there's a wildlife pond down here, didn't know that. Very good. So, so that's where the wood goes. The wildlife pond is this way, so we'll take a left. And again, I hope you're seeing this because the signal's not that great today. So the wildlife wood. So that might be a loop. Shall we do that one or shall we go to the pond? Yeah, let's do the pond. I'm guessing it's down this way. So it's very well signposted. Not 100% clear, but we're almost there. And just to re-illustrate my dedication to the course, these are my feet right now. National Flip-Flop Day. out of the Three Sisters near Ashton and Bryn. In the rain, under a brolly, nice and dry, apart from my feet. There's another bird feeder here. That's not the wildlife pond, surely. Look at this. That's not the wildlife pond, is it? Can't be. I think it might be behind us. We just walked past another tree sculpture. It's pretty nice. I think this is the wildlife pond this way. Further down. Frank and Linda Higgins say good morning all. Good morning to you. This is the wildlife pond. Looking rather muddy right now, which is a shame, but probably due to all the floods, a lot of runoff water, mud and everything else has ended up into the pond. But I'm guessing when it's maintained properly, this will be a nice little spot. So we'll carry on walking around. Sheila says the filming is lovely and clear. Oh, very good. Oh, look at that, there's a butterfly in the tree. You see that? Belting. So we've just seen that a few more people who joined us. Good morning, Stephen. How are you? So if you have just joined us, we're at the Three Sisters. We've just gone into one of the woods behind the lake, and it's National Flip Flop Day. And staying true to the cause, we're in flip flops. Just let this border collie go past. Morning. How you doing? You okay? You wet? So yeah, he just said his waterproof jacket isn't waterproof. Well, he'll need it today, folks, because it's absolutely teeming it down. And the rain seems to go fatter when you go into the woods, dripping off all the leaves and branches. So look at some farmers' buildings and sheds over on that side. Oh, and the river's gone red. That's how I remember Smithy Brook. That colour. So by the looks of things, we've walked past some new paths that have just been made and some new bridges that have just been made. So they're certainly developing the area as an ongoing programme to develop the woodland. But these bridges look quite new. They might have even been here a year or two, but they look pretty smart and safe. It certainly ticks all the boxes for accessibility for anybody. Including those who use wheelchairs and people who want to use prams and things like that. So the only thing is, when you come out to a place like this now, you struggle to know exactly where you are on the map. so I might go left back towards the wood and hopefully end up at a path that we started on. Frank says plenty of muddy puddles to jump in. Stephen Davis says good mate, enjoying the sound of the rain patter on the umbrella. It sounds like a tent, doesn't it? I said that to somebody the other day, that I love the sound of rain, especially on a tent. I'm going to wash my feet now because they're a bit gritty, got a little bit of dirt on them. Oh, that's cold. Woo. Now I've got a twig stuck. There we go. So for today I'd certainly recommend wellies or something waterproof, but if you don't mind getting wet, I suppose flip-flops are the answer. Dot says a few more signs needed perhaps. Absolutely, couldn't agree more, but no doubt those will be put up as they continue to develop the area. But most people would have a map handy, or they could use Google Maps or a walking map to find out the best route. Unfortunately my hands are full, and if I put the map on my phone, we'll lose the live stream, so we're not going to do that today. We'll just persevere and hopefully find our way back. Now then, that looks like a way you could probably get back to the lake, the homemade bridge there, but it looks quite slippy for flip-flops, so we're going to stick to the track. Was just going to ask about wheelchairs. You beat me. Yeah, I think for a wheelchair access route, this is absolutely ideal. There's no kind of tight tracks that you'll struggle. They're all pretty hard surface. It's not exactly tarmac, but it's almost there. There's really wide bridges and viewing platforms for wheelchair access, so I'd certainly recommend it for that. And I think if you park from the car park, you can get on a little bit easier than the way I got on. So yes, Sheila, wheelchair friendly indeed. Yvonne says, where is this? And Dot has replied with 3 sisters. So we started off the walk outside Beaver Court, which is just down the side of the 3 Sisters Lake, and we've cut through into the woods from there. And that's the bridge that we passed earlier on, by the way. Even that's wheelchair friendly. You can see the path winds down left and then right again, so you can cross over there. There's another little furry door in the tree. Big furries around here in Ashton. So Graham says the path you're now on takes you back to the main car park. Thanks for that, Graham. And thanks, because I think you recommended this walk yesterday, or suggested it rather. It was either here or Carmel Dam, you said. So thanks for that. This reminds me of some of the Scottish forestry tracks that we take quite a lot of when we go up to Scotland, because at the side of the track there's always had a small cutout ditch for all the water and runoff to go down. So very similar, apart from the type of trees. We're used to more pine trees than this, but there is a Scotch pine there actually. That's a Scotch pine just there. I don't know if you can hear that, but on camera you should be able to hear the sound of the flip-flops, and they're not very flip-floppy. They're more a squelch and a squelch, because they're absolutely soaked, but all is good. They're not rubbing, they're not hurting. Jackie says she used to ride around there on her bike, nice and flat, for the older cyclists. Sounds painful, flip-flops in the rain. It's not. If you get the right size and a good pair of solid flip-flops, they're absolutely fine. No pain, no gain. It's brilliant. We did walk there a few years back. The woods are a lot more mature now, says Sheila. It's been quite a while since I've walked around here, but it's certainly come a long way. I bet it's maybe even 10 years since I walked around here. Oh, James, we're going to need you around here, buddy. The beavers are coming. Building dams there. See that? Flooding the place. So this is quite a bit of a gentle gradient we're going up now. And you can see down there it's kind of downhill. But it is very gradual, so not too difficult at all if you're coming up on a bike or even in a pushchair or wheelchair, or in flip-flops. Safe as houses. Graham says he's missed being able to get up to Scotland. Well, we tend to go up there as often as we can, maybe 4 or 5 times a year for a week's break each time. It's certainly our preferred holiday destination. We even got married up there, so it has been a place that we've been visiting for a long time. Can't wait to get back and see it again. Oh, look at this. Should we try and play a tune? Try and do the Winstanley Walks theme tune, do you think? Try and do this without dropping anything. Oh. What's that? That's nice, isn't it? What do you reckon? Good? Sounds Japanese, that. There we go, bit of music for you. Who would have known? I think I've just adopted a dog. Frank says, Frank and Linda say not many out today. No, you're absolutely right, there's not. Okay, so we've got another sign now. Car park and toilets left, Langate Lane bridleway right, and Arena Hill viewpoint. So that'll take you up towards the racetrack to be able to see the race cars and the bikes around the Three Sisters. But we're going to head back because it's not the best weather to do this, and at the end of the day, to see a viewpoint you need a bit of a view, and I don't think there's going to be anybody driving around there today, so we'll have to do that another time. But we'll make our way back to the car park and then back round to the wood, and then we'll sign off on what has been a very interesting and successful walk. The tree carvings, musical instruments, fab for the kids, absolutely, and fab for adults as well. Sounds like you've been practicing, Liz says. Daniel James Wilson says, can you use the app called Revive? It will show us your walks in detail. We could do, but we use something else called Plotter Route. So the Plotter Route maps that we've got available, of which there are 44, there'll be 45 after this. If you go to our website, which is winstanleywalks.co.uk, you'll be able to see every map in detail, with distance, gradients, and a replay of the walk itself on the website. So if you go to the website, click on the walk section, you can actually see every one of the walks that we've done. And the latest walk, today's walk number 45, will be uploaded as soon as I get back, so in the next half an hour or so, including a YouTube video, which will basically be a replay of this. So we already have something set up for that, Daniel, if you've just joined us as a new member, but you can check out every one of those walks on the website with a detailed map and a video. But thanks for asking. Frank says, Frank and Linda say, man of many talents. I think not. Karen's just said man of many talents as well. Sarah says, we use the Three Sisters as part of our outdoor badge work. 16th Wigan Cubs. Well, there you go. Well, it seems like the rain has stopped. The brolly can come down. Got pins and needles in my arm for carrying that. But we've finished off. Looks like the sun's coming out a bit through the grey cloud over there. But I hope you enjoyed that. That was certainly a new route for me. I've been here before, but never really been in amongst the trees that much, but there's so much more to explore around the Three Sisters. Lots of different pathways, lots of different routes you can take. You could probably spend half a day here and still not do all the paths. So we'll leave you with a good shot of the brolly, which is soaked. It's stopped raining now, and a shot of those flip-flops. National Flip-Flop Day, people. Have a great day, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you again for another walk very soon. Bye for now.